Good morning, everybody. It's Gwen. I'm back again, and today is Monday, May the 17th, and it's pretty early in the morning here. It's about 8 o'clock. I got up early this morning, so figured while it was quiet, I would do a video because I haven't done one for a while, so I needed to catch up on some stuff. Hope everybody's been getting lots of stitching in and keeping well. My sewing room is a wreck. I've been rooting through fabric here again in my stash, so please excuse the disorganized mess behind me. So I've got a lot of things on the go and a lot of things to show you. So I'll start with, I guess, what I've been working on, and I've been scattered all over the place working on everything. And yeah. So where to start? I'll start with my stitching. I'm still working on the Sampler Company by Brenda Keys. I've showed you this one before. I got a little bit more done on it. I watched somebody's YouTube video that talked about working on their projects, all of them, at least once a day. So I've been trying to do that, and I'm getting there on this. I did a couple more stitches on the on this sampler here and there all over the place. So it's getting there. I'm bound determined I'm going to finish this one soon. So camping season is opening here shortly, so all these are going to go to the camper with me. That way I'll be able to stitch like crazy. The other one I put a few stitches on is Blackbird Designs Come Into My Garden. This one I really like stitching on too. So I've got a little bit more on the outer border. This is really nice fabric. I like this fabric. It's Picture This Plus 32 count fog. It's just got the right amount of marbling in it. So I put a few more stitches into that. That's another one that I really like to get done this summer. And get it framed. And this one, La Di Da by Love Abide by La Di Da. I'm almost finished the houses. I've got this one house to finish, and then it's got another tree on this side, and then I'm all done on there. And then I'm going to move on to the rest of the tree, the tall tree. So that's coming along. And this is on 36 count Champagne by XG Designs. So I've been getting some stitching done on there. And then another one I'm working on. I haven't taken this off. This one I bought from Stitching Through the Years. It was a PDF. I printed it off. Unfortunately, I only have black and white, so I printed it off. I showed you this before. Always Flowers sampler. I've got all of the border done. I won't even take it off the hoop. I got all of the border done, and well, just part of the border. And then I started on the first block. I had to change some of the colors out on this because I didn't care for there seems to be a lot of white, so I changed the flowers from white to a pink because the white wasn't showing up on this fabric. This fabric is Old Sheep XG Designs, and it's a 40 count Newcastle linen. So it's going to be a nice stitch when nice when it's done. And it's all 1/2. So I was working on that, and the one I've been working the most on is by Needle and Thread by Brenda Gervais. I don't know if you can get too much of a glare off there. This one is really nice. I'm enjoying this stitch. It's all 1/2. Holy, look at that. I gotta put a bag behind it. And I've got a lot done on here. I've got, I'm just working on the grass on the bottom. It's a fun stitch. I really like this. So I've been moving right along on it. And it is on, what am I stitching you on? I'm stitching her on French Vanilla by R&R Productions, 36 count. So that one I've been moving right along on. And I've changed a couple of the colors in it too, because I had to use all DMC. And it was actually calling for, what was it calling for? It was calling for Weeks, Classic Works, and I didn't have access to any of that thread. I would have had to order it all, so I decided to just change up the colors and used all DMC, and I got as close as I could. I think I matched them up pretty close with what's in the picture. So, but they look good. I'm happy with that. So that I've been working on pretty much every day, more than I have it with anything else. Another one that I started was, I can't show you the picture because it's the actual chart. I don't have a picture. It's by Welcome Spring by Little House Needleworks. It's a little spring piece, and I'm going to make a little pillow out of it. And it's stitched on 30 count, and I can't remember. I think it's 30 count by R&R. Can't remember the color name though. Just some scrap I had. So that I put a little bit of work on. And this one, I'm almost finished. It's the Blackbird Design Anniversaries of the Heart pattern one. This is the Snow Garden. That's the first one. I put a couple more stitches in the border, and I'm almost finished it. So this one I'm hoping I'm going to finish this week, and then I'll start on the second chart for Anniversaries of the Heart. This is 30 count Winter's Brew, I believe. That's what I'm stitching it on. Yeah, I believe it's 30 count Winter's Brew. So that's there. That's everything that I have been stitching on, that I've got stitches in. I picked out a couple of patterns that I'm going to start on right away and take out to the camper with me. It's the other pattern by Brenda Gervais, Have Ye Any Wool. I'm going to start that. I got to pick out some DMC threads to match the colors, and I haven't done that yet. I have decided that I'm going to stitch it on not the called for fabric. I'm going to stitch it on this, and this is from Traditional Stitches. It's Legacy Picture This Plus, and it's 32 count. So I'm going to stitch that. I think that'll look really nice on there. So that is just got to get the threads picked out and then bagged, ready to take to the lake. Another one I'm going to start is I'm going to do another Bernie. I'm going to stitch another Bernie. This was a drum I made out of him when I stitched him last. I use this all the time. And I stitched it from a free pattern that was offered by who? It was a free pattern. Somewhere I've seen the name. Soda Stitch Design from Etsy. She has an Etsy shop. Soda Stitch Design. That was a free pattern, and I'm going to stitch him again, but this time I'm going to stitch him on a piece of fabric I got from Traditional Stitches. It's Weathered Shingle, R&R Reproduction, 36 count. I'm going to stitch him on there, and then I'm going to make myself a sunglass case from that for sunglasses. I just think he's so cute, and I think he'll make a nice sunglass case. So Bernie's coming up into a sunglass case. I'm going to like stitching him again. Another one that I'm going to start is a pattern I just received. I'm going to have a lot of starts, but I'm going to have a lot of time out at the campers. So this is Sarah Jackson by the Scarlet House. And that's a new pattern I just got. I think this may be a new release. I just got this in the mail. And I'm going to stitch it on. I think they're called for, what's it? Different color, where is it? The called for was 36 count dolphin linen. But I think from looking at the picture, and I already had it in my stash from Traditional Stitches, 36 count Virginia Beach Brew. It's a really pretty kind of a blue genie blue. So I think I'm going to stitch that on there. I've picked out the threads in DMC. And I think they'll look okay on there. Try to hold them up sideways. They'll go pretty good on there. So this is kitted up. Sarah Jackson by the Scarlet House. So that's kitted up and ready to go. Just got to get some project bags out of my stash and get them loaded up. I got the new linen I got in the mail. I got from XJU Designs. This is 36 count My Cutie Dove. It's a really nice gray, mottled gray, grayish blue. I'm really happy with that one. Not sure what I'll put on it yet. Add it to my stash. You really got to check her site, her Etsy shop every half hour, because the minute her stuff is loaded on her Etsy shop, as soon as her linens are loaded, they're like sold. The other one I got was hazelnut from her Etsy shop, 40 count hazelnut. That's really pretty too. And this one is 46 count brick powder. I got a whole meter of it. And it's really nice. It really is like an old brick. She sent a little sample, Midnight Ridge 46 count. That's a cute color too. She always sends little samples and little gifts with her linens. But I really like this brick powder. I'm not sure what I'm going to put on it yet, but I got a whole meter of it. 46 count. That's about as high as I'm going as far as stitching counts. It sounds like it's a lot, but if you stitched on 36 count, you can stitch on 46 count, no problem. I finally got enough linens that I had to get myself some buckets, and I separated the different counts and put them in buckets so that I could take a look on the bucket and see what count I'm looking for, and then pull whichever bucket I want instead of digging through all of my linens. So I organized those a little bit. And I think unfortunately our fabric shop is closing in our community, so she had a sale on, so I went and picked up a whole bag of all different colors of DMC threads that I know I'm going to use eventually somewhere. So those I have to get put on, get organized, put them on cards and get them organized. What else? I made a couple more project bags. This one has got a little notions bag to go with it. I haven't been getting a lot of time to do a lot of bags, and I'm considering closing my Etsy shop just because I don't really have the time to keep up with it. I made myself another hoop bag. This one's mine. And that was a free pattern by the hoops. Cross stitch pattern was a free pattern from Not Forgotten Farm. She posted it. So I made a few bags out of this, but I've sold them all except for, I think this is the only one I have left, and I'm keeping it for myself. So I don't know, I'm considering closing my Etsy shop. I might keep my Facebook page for posting bags on, the odd bag, but I'm finding I'm having a lot of not being able to keep up with bags, making bags to put on my shop. So I would like to spend more time on doing stuff just for myself. So I'm gonna think about that. I made this little bag set. It's a 7x7 notions bag, and I made a drum to match, a pin drum to match the notions bag. This, I believe, I posted for sale on my Facebook page, and I didn't put it on my Etsy shop. And what else have I been working on? I made a table topper, and this is called Twister. I've had this pattern for a few years. Pulled it out a couple of times and then I never did do it. So I just decided the other day that I needed a table topper for my campers, so I decided to get busy and make it. So I did, and I like how it turned out. I'm gonna quilt it myself, so I just pinned it up. But it was a pretty easy pattern to put together once you sorted out where everything goes. I laid it all out and then I sewed it together. Then it was easier to figure it out. So I have to quilt that. I'm going to just quilt it myself. And the other quilt I did finish was a baby quilt. This was a kit that I bought from Mama Bear's quilt shop. And it's all, you can see that, sheep. And where's the pattern? I got the pattern here somewhere. It's called I saw this on Mama Bear's Facebook page and fell in love with it. It's called Baba Baby Sheep. And all the fabrics were by Moda. And it was a kit that she had, so I just bought the kit. There was actually quite a bit of fabric left over from the kit, so it was a pretty generous. So that's done. I got it quilted by Doris Shand. She always does a really nice job. I don't know if you can see it, but I'll try the back. I put Minky on the back. She quilted it all with little sheeps. Little sheep. It was cute. So I've got the binding. I sewn on. I just have to stitch it down. That's stitching the binding on. I stitch it on by hand, so I'll it's what I call mindless stitching. So when I'm watching a show or something on TV and I don't have to worry about counting or anything, then that's what I do. I stitch, mindless stitching, stitching that binding on. And then I also started making some cushions for we're supposed to have our Christmas in August this year, as long as we don't get shut down. Right now we're locked down still because of our numbers. Quite a few people have had their first vaccine shots, but some are just starting to get their second, so we're kind of running behind with vaccine. I've had my first shot. I'm waiting for my second. Can't wait to get it and get on with life. So I started this and I'm making 2 of them. And this is from a pattern from the Quilt Patch that's no longer open. You can probably still buy this pattern, but the Quilt Patch store was from Moose Jaw. She closed a few years ago. So these are seasonal pillows, and I'm going to do 4 of them all together. I think I'm gonna do 2 of the snowman, which I've got started, and I'll probably do 2 plant in the garden ones, and those are going to be for gifts for our Christmas in August, our family reunion. So those are really cute. I haven't done any applique for a little while, so enjoying working on that. And that's what I started yesterday. And another one that I'm pulling fabric for out of my stash is a quilt. There's 2 quilts actually that I'm going to get started this summer. Jojo's Flower Shop, and that was another pattern also from the quilt patch. I haven't sewn this one before, so I pulled it out of my stash and I'm going to start that. And Be Scrappy is also a pattern from the quilt patch that I've had for a few years. And this is coming out of my, I'm hoping to get a couple of those Be Scrappy quilts made out of my scrap bucket, so I can use up those scraps and get that bucket down a little bit, because it's starting to overflow. And I think that's it. That's everything that I've been working on. I need to spend some time in here organizing stuff. I've been ripping through my fabric, so I'm just shoving it back in and it's all over the place. I also, my last video, 2 videos ago, I had a giveaway, the La Di Da Love Abide pattern, cross stitch pattern. I didn't hear anything from the person that won it 2 videos ago, so I decided I'm just going to draw again and give this one away. And the winner this time was Maureen McClaymont. So I know she enjoys cross stitching, so I'm sure she's going to love this pattern. So Maureen, I'll get a hold of you and let you know that you won this giveaway. It's a nice stitch. She's probably going to like that. Other than that, that's everything I've been working on, and I think maybe my next video will be from out at the camper. So my husband's retiring. He's got 2 weeks. He's on his last 2 weeks of work. And I think we'll be spending a majority of our time out at the campground because he likes to go fishing. I like to eat fish, but I don't like to fish. So I usually just spend my time at the camper doing stitching. So works out good for the best of us, for the both of us. So he can do what he wants and I go do what I want. So we're gonna have a lot more time to do that as soon as he's finished work. So we're looking forward to that. Now, if the weather would cooperate, that would just be ideal as well. The first weekend we were going to camp was next weekend, but this coming weekend, but it looks like we're in for some cold weather and some rain, so that's probably not going to happen. So that'll give me more time to get things put together here, get ready to haul everything out there. So other than that, hopefully we're still locked down, so I'm hoping that our case counts start going down soon and everybody gets vaccinated so we can start enjoying things like some of my friends that I watch on YouTube are doing now. They've all been vaccinated. They can go shopping. They're going to retreats. They're not wearing masks anymore. So I'm looking forward to getting back to being able to do the same thing. It seems funny watching them all enjoying themselves, going to retreats in parts of the States and Australia, and we're still locked down here. So hopefully we move along with these vaccinations and we can get there too. So until my next video, everybody take care, and I hope you get lots of stitching in. Thanks for watching, and I hope you come back again. Thanks. Bye-bye.